What is going on, everyone? This is Eric coming at you from just outside of Hartford, Connecticut, live, which is always fun. So, today, what I decided to do is originally I was just going to do a video discussing, what we're going to be doing for the rest of this month, the month of November. But then I got the idea. Back in the summer of 2020, I did a redraft. I did like a expansion draft for the NHL game. And I enjoyed doing it. So I decided, what's a good idea? Let's do a franchise draft for Madden. So we have the newest game, Madden 22. And I'm going to do an expansion draft for the Philadelphia Eagles because obviously I'm a big Eagles fan. Now, during the expansion draft, I'm going to kind of go here and there and I'm going to discuss, okay, this is the player, this is what we're doing. I'm not going to make you guys sit through all 54 picks, of course. We're going to simulate some of the picks at the end of the draft because there's no point to actually do it. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to draft my full 22-man starting roster if I can, realistically speaking. So, always fun, but also important is the fact that I kind of do want to discuss what the plan is going to be for November, but what we'll do is probably do that later in the day. I'll probably just do a separate video for that, but this is going to become a new series, hopefully. I'm going to try to address this series often, maybe not every week, but as the season goes on, I'm going to ideally try to get through at least 2 years by the time the 2021 NFL season comes to an end. But anyway, I have no idea where we're picking, so I'm going to start the franchise draft now. The fantasy draft, they call it, I guess, here in Madden. So it's going to be fun, like I said. I'm a big football fan, as you guys know. Football is definitely one of the big parts of our channel. And we kind of got screwed because we got the 29th pick, so there's not going to be any good quarterback. But I'm not going to reach for a quarterback, there's absolutely no point in doing that. But let me just look and see who's available. And I do have the timer running. Yeah, there's really no one. I mean, I could go Herbert here, but I feel like Herbert's going to be... Herbert and Burrow are both pretty similar to me. So, of who's available, I mean, there's Derrick Henry, Stephon Gilmore, David Bakhtiari, Dalvin Cook. It gets kind of tough at this point because it's like, what position you want to build with your franchise? You're not getting a top tier quarterback. I'm not going to pick like Devontae Adams, for example. He's good, but then again, Aaron Donald on the flip side. Aaron Donald's here. He's 30 years old, but he is a superstar. Still Stephon Gilmore. Yeah, the smart move here is probably to go Aaron Donald, but at the same time, you do kind of want a strong corner. Yeah, we're gonna go Aaron Donald with the first pick for us. He might be considered a reach, so to speak, by Madden standards, but it's not like I intend to do like a 20-year plan. I'm only going for a couple years here. So Aaron Donald is a heck of a good pickup for me. I'm very happy to have him. Now with the second pick, I'm definitely going to go quarterback. I don't like having to go quarterback so early, but unfortunately, I clicked manage roster because I don't like how this Madden setup is now, but unfortunately, you kind of have to go QB, otherwise you're going to be stuck literally with whatever garbage the AIs don't pick in the first 2 rounds, because they run to the lines and pick every single quarterback of even some value. Yeah, see, you already saw Herbert got picked, so I'm not even going to think twice about it. I'm just going to grab Joe Burrow here. Very talented player, obviously first overall pick in 2020, so there's talent here. And you see, it says I reached, but I mean, realistically, you had to reach, because otherwise, like I said, you're going to be stuck with maybe Matthew Stafford as your quarterback in the 3rd round. Now, for the heck of it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see who the top available quarterback is, just because, I kind of want to do that kind of stuff. It's kind of fun. Oh, well, I mean, Brady and Ryan are both solid. I mean, Brady would have been a heck of a pick here, but oh well, live and learn. Live and learn. So now you have some more players here, and it's kind of like you got to build, you got to decide what you're doing. Do you want to build for 2021, or do you want to build for the next 5 years? What's your plan? Now, you can see they're mostly older players. I mean, Trent Williams is a very strong, very talented left tackle. You always want to protect your blind side. You could go for Vita Vea, who's a strong run-stuffing D tackle. At the same time, there's Bobby Wagner. But at the same time, too, you can't neglect the secondary. So Darius Slay, Denzel Ward, Casey Hayward even. I am aware of the time kind of dwindling, which is never good. Just glancing at the safeties, yeah, I can probably... What I'll do here is I'll grab Darius Slay. Obviously, it's fun to get him back in Philly. He fits my time frame. I only care about a couple years, so it's always kind of fun to do this. They're always going to say I reach for the most part because they have their own draft rankings, how they want to do them. So, yeah, next pick, yeah, you see right there, they actually would end up picking James Bradberry at the 4th. Solid pick. I do like Bradberry. So now, do I go defense? Do I go offense? So for the heck of it, I'm going to glance at the receivers available. I'm not expecting to grab one. Cooper Kupp's actually a pretty talented receiver. He might make me grab a receiver. For the running backs, Aaron Jones, Kareem Hunt, Jonathan Taylor, I'm a big fan of. But I don't need to have one of those guys. Now, on the O-line, there's still some strong tackles available. Blindside. I really wouldn't go with anything other than a left tackle here. Maybe Lane Johnson. It's kind of tough. You gotta choose between. For me, it's Trent Williams, Cooper Villa, if he's still, yeah, Vita Villa. So it's kind of like, do you want to go defense or do you want to go offense? I'm an Eagles fan, so I like building through the lines. It's just kind of what I do. Vita Villa is just calling to me right now for some strange reason. I'm going Vita Villa. I just, I want the run stuffer. I usually try to build my team to stop the run. With how they changed Madden, stopping the runs become a lot more difficult in Madden 22. So that's why I want to build and get a good run stuffer here. Then we get to the 5th round. Now, at this point, we do have 4 players. We have our quarterback, Joe Burrow. And then on the defensive side of the ball, we have Aaron Donald as a defensive end, which probably will be defensive tackle as well. Vita Villa next to him on the D-line, and then Darius Slay at corner. So you can see there's still some strong safeties here. So I'm probably going to hold off on safety for at least one more round. So I'll probably get one of my 2 starting safeties in the 6th. As for the receiving room, there's still some concerns here, but there are some good players. I do like Antonio Brown a lot. He's a good deep threat, but with how I play, I prefer to have a route runner. But I also like the physical players, and I'm a fan of what Mike Williams does. He's a good player. But there's also Cortland Sutton. Now, these are both guys I'm high on. Mike Williams started off the 2021 campaign just completely breaking out. Cortland Sutton has been consistent, but he's been injury prone as well during his career at this point. As for the tackles, the tackles aren't exactly screaming to me. But Taylor Lewan, I remember watching him play in college. He fits our timeline a lot. So it comes down to, do I want my left tackle or do I want my first receiver? We're going to have to get our left tackle here just because I'd rather play it safe. Taylor Lewan went to Michigan. I was a Michigan fan when he was there, so happy to get him. You always want to have a strong tackle. That's why it's kind of tough to wait on a tackle, because if you do, you're going to be kind of in trouble, because then they'll just keep blitzing you from the side, and especially with how I play. Now, we have Jason Kelce available, and he's an appealing option, but I want to get a safety. Do I go with a free safety or strong safety? In the end, does it matter all that much? You can get the run support safety of Harrison Smith, of course, big-time Pro Bowler, or you can go with the younger Justin Simmons, 5 years younger. With how I play, I do like having my safeties do a lot of zone, and he actually fits my scheme for Philly, so I'm going to go Justin Simmons. Probably not the most attractive pick. I would have loved to pick one of those appealing receivers that was available, but to me, it makes more sense to go with what you can go with. And a player, a plug-and-play safety like Justin Simmons, you can just leave him out there. You don't have to worry about what he does. So that's kind of perfect for me and how I play. And Harrison Smith's still available, so he actually becomes a potential option with our next pick. But now I need to address the linebacker position. What I like about these drafts is there's just so many different things you have to do. You can't just sit around. Yeah, both receivers I was looking at are gone. It is what it is. I do like Sterling Shepard a lot. He's a deep threat, though. I want more of a physical guy or route runner. So I'm kind of leaning Robert Woods. But, yeah, I think the smart move here would be maybe even Jarvis Landry. Or maybe Devontae Parker. What we'll do is we're going to wait on a receiver. And what I'll do... I'm really leaning getting Harrison Smith here. But at the same time, I do like Matthew Judon a lot. Matthew Judon, I guess they call him in the game. Yeah, I normally don't get a good linebacker, so let me quickly glance at his stats, and hopefully, yeah, he's good. Good tackle, good acceleration. I'll draft Matthew Judon. I know they probably don't like that pick, but You know, I need a linebacker. He can do what he needs to. He can tackle. He has good acceleration. He can blitz if I need him to. And I like having a strong blitzing linebacker. That's just how I play. Yeah, Harrison Smith's still available. Tyler Lockett's still available. Kareem Hunt. James Robinson. Javan Hargrave. If I didn't already pick a defensive tackle, I probably would go with him here. But let me glance at the offensive line real quick. Lindsley's a strong center. I don't really need a guard right now. I want to have a strong left tackle. Right tackle, right tackle. I already have a left tackle. I mean, Beluga is an older player, and he doesn't have the superstar factor, but he does have good abilities. He fits our timeline for a good amount of time at least. And then after him, there's a big drop off. But at the same time, you know, yeah, we'll get him. We'll get him. I want to keep Burrow standing up straight. I don't want him getting knocked down every single play. So you can see what I'm doing here. I'm kind of trying to build at each position group. I'm not going to be super strong at the receiving core, the running backs, but I'm going to be able to keep Joe Burrow standing up straight through the majority of the season. Fingers crossed. So, yeah, see, Antonio Brown, all these receivers are still available. So that tells me I'm going to hold off. I don't want a fullback this early, at least. So that tells me I should probably look at another position. Now, there are some solid, not necessarily a strong running back one anymore. Austin Eckler is actually kind of calling to me because I do like a pass-catching running back. I just wanted to see if there's any superstar tight end still available. Gronkowski's very good, but the big problem with him, of course, is he's already retired in real life. He came back. He's 32 years old, though. I love Zach Ertz a lot as well. Obviously, I'm a big Eagles fan. You guys know this. Draft has the Eagles for a reason. So what I'm thinking is, I'm going to have to go Eckler here. But at the same time, you don't necessarily need an elite running back. But what he can do is he can catch a lot. He's elusive. So I'm going to go Austin Eckler. And that's surprisingly a pick that they like. Normally they trash every pick I make. But I do like having Austin Eckler on the team. He's a very strong running back. He's been doing great this year. And we just had breaking news that Nick Chubb of the Cleveland Browns just tested positive for a certain viral illness. So that's notable. That's very interesting. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully he comes back soon. But the Browns, I mean, they just can't catch a break. It's as simple as that. So now we get to the receiving tight end question here. Do I go with the receiver or do I go with the tight end? I'm probably going to go with the receiver because I definitely need a receiver here. I can't keep holding off the receiving room. Now, on paper, Devontae Parker fits what I like. He's a physical receiver. But I also have to acknowledge the fact that, you know, someone like Tyler Lockett, I can air it out with him. And I haven't even looked at Lockett up to this point. And I like what Robert Woods does, but I'm going to have to go Tyler Lockett. You know, he's younger than Antonio Brown, and I do like to consider the off-the-field concerns to an extent, too. I wouldn't want to touch Antonio Brown in real life on my team. And I kind of try to draft this a bit like real life. Now, the only thing is I do have pre-existing injuries off. So if someone's currently on the IR with a broken leg, you know, it's not going to affect me. I do have injuries on, all said and done, but pre-existing is off. Now you get to a fun part where, you know, you still have Sterling Shepard, you still have Jarvis Landry, you still have Robert Woods, but, you know, I didn't expect Bryce Callahan to still be available. He's a solid zone corner, and he kind of fits what I like, you know, just leave him out there. He'll get torched periodically. Ooh, Quandra Diggs is available. Unfortunately, I already have a free safety, but, you know, the problem with him is he's a real boomer bust guy, too. You know, he'll do great today and then get torched. You know, he'll get you 2 picks, but then he'll get torched 15 times. Yeah, all the tight ends are still available. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab Bryce Callahan. He's a zone guy. I just leave him out there, plug and play. So he's young enough. You know, he's in my timeline. My timeline, we're going to try to compete for 2020. I keep saying 2020. It's easier to me. So, all right. Next pick, I saw Jordan Poyer, former Eagle, still available. I wish the Eagles kept him, but they decided to cut him after, I think, a single year. Could get another receiver. Let me glance at the quarterbacks real quick, because sometimes if you don't make a move, you get garbage backups. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to try to target Cam Newton or Tyrod Taylor as my backup. Worst case, I'll go with Andy Dalton. Let me quickly get myself a strong wide receiver, too. And you see, I can still get my pick of the guys. Devontae Parker's even still available. So I'm going to probably hold off, actually. I'm going to probably the smart move is to go Jordan Poyer here. He fits my zone coverage scheme that I love. He's in the age group that we want. So I'm going to grab him. He's good at run support when you need him to be as well. Now, I know it's considered a reach. I don't need to have him. But at the same time, like I said numerous times, I like having my secondary just leave them out there. They can do what they want. I usually control either a linebacker or a defensive player, defensive lineman. I'm better with that. I'm not the best at Madden. If eventually you'll see me play a game, I'm going to try to sim most of the games, but eventually you'll see me play a game. So you'll see what I mean. Then you have the next pick. I do like Kyle Fuller a lot. He's another corner. You want to have strong corners. He plays zone. Glancing at the quarterbacks once more, just to make sure, because I don't want to be screwed. Yeah, they're both still there. So, do I go with like a running back? Pair with Eckler? Probably not. Defensive side of the ball, on the defensive line, there's still some problems, but we'll have to address that later. There's still some strong receivers. I do like Brian Poole a lot, so I'm going to probably try... Alright, I'm going to be auto-picked unless I go quick here. Oh, I got auto-picked for. Dang it, I was literally about to click the button too, unless my pick went through. Alright, let me pause the draft. I'm still going to try to go quick here. But who did I get? Who did I get auto-picked? That's the real question. Who did I get auto-picked? Did I get some garbage player, or did I get someone that's actually decent? We got auto-picked. Seriously? D Ford? I mean, D Ford's okay. I needed some help on the D-line, so I'll take D Ford. It could have been much worse. Sometimes the Madden auto-pick gives you some complete garbage thing, though. They'll give me a backup running back when I still have 20 holes on the roster. Anyways. I still want a corner. I still want a receiver. They just gave me some defensive help, so I'm going to kind of hold off on the defense this pick. Glancing at the tight ends that are available, I'm sure Gronk's gone by now. If he isn't, easy pick. Rob Gronkowski. He's in our timeline. He's going to help us out. Sorry, I had a tickle in my throat there. So now we are in the 15th round. So we're starting to get our picks together. Oh, I wish I knew Blake Martinez was still available. Oh, I would have gone Blake Martinez in a heartbeat. I like him as a player. So now we're back, and it looks like all of the receivers that I was hoping would continue to fall have been grabbed. Let me see. Make it 100% sure. Yeah, they're all gone. At this point, though, Antonio Brown's probably worth the risk. Don't double check his age. He is 33, so he's probably going to fall off dramatically after the year. But I do like T.Y. Hilton. He's got better speed, but I want the catch. Yeah, I'm going to take the chance here. I'm going to go Antonio Brown. He's going to be our strong wide receiver one. He has the off-the-field concerns like I mentioned before, but I'm going to deal with that. It's not real life. It's Madden. We're not going to have him get suspended. That would be kind of cool, but I couldn't see Madden doing that just because... You know, what are you going to do? You're going to program like Antonio Brown has a 20% chance through the season to have something come up legally, and no one else does. Speaking of legality issues, there are going to be a few players I will not target or even mention in this draft. There's, of course, Henry Ruggs. You know, it's not worth even looking at him. As talented as a player as he was, you know, I don't want to have a player like that on my team just because there's just so much concern with him. On the field, off the field, however you want to look at it. So could go with a defensive tackle, finish up the final, you know, the front four on defense. You could go with another offensive lineman, this time in the center of the O-line. Let me just double check the D tackles real quick, because sometimes if you don't make a move, you get stuck with some garbage. Yeah, there's still Linvale Joseph, middle linebacker, because I don't have one of those. Yeah, see, here's the problem when you wait. You gotta kind of struggle with the middle linebacker position. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name. I know who he is. He's a pretty solid player. But, yeah, you know, if he can tackle well, I'll take him. He's a good field general. He's okay in pass coverage. He's not elite. But it's good enough for me. I mean, I should have probably picked a stronger middle linebacker. But... I'm happy with the draft so far. I like I said, I like having a zone secondary where I can just leave them out there. They can do whatever they want to do. They can do what they got to do. You know, I don't have to worry about them all that much. My 2 QB options are still available, so I'll probably get my backup QB next round. I probably would be smart to get a defensive or an offensive lineman here, but none of their top available suggested players are linemen, so I'm gonna have to look myself. And we have Saffold, Mac, and Castro. Oh yeah, we have Duvernay Tardif, who was recently traded. Always fun. How old is Mac? Interesting fact, Alex Mack was actually he was originally a draft pick that was owned by the Eagles, but the Eagles traded him. So I do like Saffold, and then there's a bit of a drop after him. He's younger than Mac. Now, what I'm going to do is when I scramble, because I do like scrambling a bit, I'll scramble to the left more than the right. But, Kadarius Toney, that's a good pick for the Packers. I like how you can see the previous picks. It's kind of cool. You look at it, it's like, oh, Kadarius Toney went this early. Okay. So, like I said, I've seen what Madden does. They'll freak out and they'll start picking all these QBs. So I like having a backup quarterback. Matt Ryan would actually be a good backup quarterback as well. So what I'll do, I said it, but I'm going to wait. I'll pick my backup quarterback later. If for some strange reason T.Y. Hilton's available, which he is, I'm probably going to go T.Y. Unless there's a defensive tackle that's really screaming to me, which there isn't. Unless there's a corner that's really calling my name, which... Oh, I do like A.J. Boy a lot. I remember watching him play at UCF. Yeah, we're just going to grab T.Y. Hilton here. I like his ability. He's younger. He should stay. If Antonio Brown ends up retiring after 1 year, we at least have T.Y. Hilton to step in. T.Y. Hilton's having a bad year so far in 2021, but he's just been dealing with so many injuries. I think he's only really appeared in one game. Maybe he's appeared in two. But hopefully he can get better. You know, recently we did release that T.Y. Hilton trade breakdown. So that was fun. You know, he's the only player from that trade that's even still playing on his original team, at least. Jerry Hughes is a good player here. I do like Jerry Hughes a lot. He fits what I like doing too. He's a speed rusher. And what's probably going to happen is Aaron Donald might be moved from the defensive end to a defensive tackle position. So picking Jerry Hughes here is a good move for me, at least. I know he's older. He might not make it for a couple more years. But what he does is he gives me a guy who can compete today, help us compete today. So what I'll probably do is I'll make it so Aaron Donald can plays defensive tackle. Sometimes Madden's a little funky with how they do things, so it is what it is. So now they definitely want me to get a backup running back, but what I think the better move to do might be to get Matt Ryan here. Let me just confirm that, like, if I do that, I'm not going to end up benching Burrow, which I might be, and I don't want to do that. That's the problem. I don't want to bench Joe Burrow. So we're just going to roll with this right now. After this pick, we're going to look at the team. You know, we'll do 2 more picks after this pick, and then we'll look at the team, and I'll decide if I'm fine with stopping the draft. So now, yeah, Alex Mack is still available. I'm going to grab Mack. I just want to have a strong center. He's older. I don't expect him to make it further than a year or two, but it's not the end of the world if he retires today. You know, well, I won't be happy if he retires today, but there goes Davis Mills. Okay, I guess someone really wants a rookie quarterback. All right, let's look at the QBs real quick because I fear, yeah, I'm not taking the chance. We're just going to grab Tyrod Taylor here. I'm not taking the chance that we end up seeing my top-tier quarterback. My 2 key backups, Cam Newton and Tyrod Taylor, go. I love Tyrod Taylor as a player. You know, he's been getting so much bad luck when it comes to NFL. I mean, we all know what happened with him in the Chargers last year. He got a shot, and they shot him in the lungs, punctured lung, right before Game 2. Thus, Herbert took the starting job. It's brutal to see it happen to him. He's been a great guy. He constantly just gets beaten up. You know, he has all this bad luck. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab a corner. Chris Harris is the top available, but, I mean, do I really want Chris Harris? He's older. Sometimes Madden cuts these guys, too, because they're older, and they're like, we don't need them. Kwan Williams, I don't know why I said James there. He's a solid zone corner. So, I mean, Eli Apple, I still remember that whole incident when he was getting drafted. Kevin King, I saw, he's really fallen off. He was expected to be better. Backup safeties for the heck of it. Rodney McLeod, Kareem Jackson. I do love Malcolm Jenkins. Obviously, I have my moments with him. You know, in hindsight, I miss him, but you know, I don't like him, but I like him. Getting him as my backup strong safety wouldn't be a bad move, but I think the smarter move is to grab a corner. And you could go with the best corner available. We're going to go with the best corner available, Chris Harris Jr. Now, I know they're going to give me a bad ranking for him, but it's not the end of the world. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go back, and we're just going to glance at the roster real quick. Once it loads. Cool. So you can kind of see right now we have our two QBs, Joe Burrow with Tyrod Taylor backing him up. Our only running back is Austin Eckler. I don't have a fullback to worry about. My three receivers, I like my receiving core, Antonio Brown, T.Y. Hilton, Tyler Lockett. You know, this is a strong 1-2 punch, and then when T.Y. Hilton can get the ball in open space, he's gone. I do have Rob Gronkowski as my lone tight end. And then the O-line, Taylor Lewan at left tackle, Roger Saffold at left guard, Alex Mack at center. I do not have a right guard yet. And then Brian Bulaga at right tackle. And then we have D Ford on the edge. Aaron Donald technically is on the edge, but he's going to probably be moved to a defensive tackle spot. Jerry Hughes is technically backing him up, but again. And then Vita Villa will be the other guy. So it's going to be tough to run on my team, which is kind of what I want. I don't have a strong linebacking core. I have Matthew Judon at my left outside linebacker. Nick Watsky as my middle linebacker. I don't have a right outside linebacker, which is what it is. Corners, you need to have good corners. And these two guys right here, Slay and Callahan, are going to be my starters. I'm going to have Chris Harris out there periodically. I like that 1-2 punch at corner, though. Justin Simmons at free safety, and then Jordan Poyer at strong safety. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick 4 more players, and then I'm going to simulate a few rounds. Because like I said, I don't want this video to end up being an hour of me just picking, because it gets boring, and I completely understand that. Adrian Phillips is still available, huh? Oh, I'm going to go with him. I wasn't expecting to go with a backup strong safety, but let's get our backup strong safety this early. Probably could have waited, but what I think this pick is going to be here is, without even thinking about it, either right guard or defensive tackle. Let me look at the right guards available real quick. Kyle Long, yeah, these guys are all going to be like the same tier, so I'm not too concerned. How about the D tackle position? Yeah, I do like Linval Joseph. I like Malik Jackson. Unfortunately, he didn't work out in Philly, but he's a solid player. Linval Joseph's a strong player too, and what he does is he provides some rotational depth for the team, but do I need him this early? That's the real thing. Like, you look down a little bit, there's still some talent. Devon Garcho is pretty good. Star here. Zach Kerr's solid. Geno Atkins is pretty good. Let me look at the right outside linebacker spot. Yeah, Pierre-Paul is just a pass rusher. Robert Quinn's a pass rusher. Like, most of these guys are going to be pass rushers for the most part. Corey Littleton's actually decent. They really, to me, they underranked him. Neville Hewitt fits what we want to do. I do like Singleton, but he's really fallen off in 2021 so far. All things considered, I think the better move for me would be Littleton. So we're going to grab Corey Littleton. One of the few players on the Raiders that hasn't had a turbulent season so far. Happy to get him. So we'll do 2 more picks here. And then we'll simulate. I'll simulate a few rounds at least. I'm not going to simulate the whole draft. So now, yeah, look, Ndamukong Suh's still there. Will Parks, former Eagle, that was a complete nightmare. Carl Nassib, notable player. D.D. Westbrook was good at one point. Brashad Harriman was recently cut. Jalen Mills, boy, oh boy. Oh, Samson. Hello, Samson. Anthony Miller, Dante Pettis. Josh Reynolds really fell off a cliff. I feel like he regrets signing with Tennessee. That signing didn't really work out for him, because then shortly after they traded for Julio Jones. Kevon Wallace is a strong player too. I like him a lot. The one thing I wish you could do during these drafts is like star player. I remember talking about Benjamin St. Juste at one point in the trade breakdown. Tutu Atwell, solid young talented receiver. Let's grab him. Because what he'll do is with my older receiving core, Tutu Atwell, he might not be an instant impact player, and I want to see if they hate. Oh, they don't mind the pick. You know, he's not going to be an instant impact player, but these rookie receivers are usually held in high regard. So let me get a strong one. I believe he was a second-round pick by the Rams this year. So he hasn't done much, but hopefully the releasing of Deshaun Jackson gets him involved in the offense more. All right, so with this last pick, what I'm going to do, my last pick, let me get the backup. Let me get the backup running back. J.D. McKissick fits my offense, and he fits what I want to do. But at the same time, let me get Latavius Murray here, because he's going to be more of a what I want backup. I do kind of want a north-south runner at some point too. So, all right. So what we're going to do is we're going to simulate. I'm going to simulate. I wish, like, in hockey, you can kind of choose to simulate 3 rounds type of thing. I wish you could do that, but you can't do that here. So we're going to simulate, like, we're going to simulate to round 30. I don't want to make my pick here. You know what? I clicked it. I might as well just do it. I'll just find a player that's somewhat respectable that fits what we need. I'm not even going to look at see what they drafted for me. I see, you know what? We still need a right guard, so let me just grab a right guard here. Yeah, like I said, the drop is there, but it's not important. So we'll just grab Kyle Long. He's decent enough. He's wearing Evan Mathis's old number. I miss Evan Mathis too. He was a strong guard when we had him playing in Philly. You know, there's a lot of players I'll remember. Like, I'll mention random guys and random facts about the Eagles. Obviously, I'm an Eagles fan. So, like Jordan Poyer. I don't think many fans of Eagles know that Jordan Poyer was an Eagle. He was a 7th-round pick. I don't remember the exact draft. It was either 2012 or 2013, because I know he was on a Chip Kelly team. So I think it was the 2013 draft, but I wasn't sure if he was one of the Andy Reid holdovers from 2012, because there's a lot of good Eagles that Reid left the Eagles in 2012. Of course, that was Nick Foles, Fletcher Cox. So the 2012 draft for the Eagles was great. It recovered the 2011 draft. That was awful. I was just looking at that 2011 draft for the Eagles earlier. Oh my gosh. Find me a fan that isn't an Eagles fan that knows who Danny Watkins is, and I'm impressed. Danny Watkins literally retired after, I think, 3 or 4 years in the NFL to go back to being a fireman. When they drafted him, it was a head-scratcher, too, because it's like, why are you drafting a guard this early in the first round when the guard is, like, literally 4 years older than every other player being drafted? They also got Jaquan Jarrett that draft, Curtis Marsh, Alex Henry, Casey Matthews, brother of Clay Matthews, of course. Yikes. I don't remember the rest of the draft, but they did get Jason Kels in the 6th round. So at least they got themselves one player saved that draft. Kels, Hall of Fame, yes or no? That's a fun one. Anyway, we're in round 40 now. So I'm going to kind of glance and see at positions. So they did draft me a receiver. They drafted me a running back. They didn't bother to draft a tight end, but they did draft a backup left guard. They drafted a defensive tackle. They drafted a backup left end. Okay, they did address the linebacker position, which is good. So now what I'm going to do, you can see like all these top players available are corners. Troy Hill fits our scheme, so let's just grab Troy Hill. He's older. He went to Oregon, so, you know, I was just talking about Chip Kelly. What are the odds? I get a former Duck. Judging by his age, he probably did play for Chip Kelly, so that makes it even more awkward, but it is what it is. All right, so I do like to have a strong third-string quarterback. It's not the most important thing in the world, but especially in a league like this where injuries are on, I do want to have one. Let me look at the fullbacks, because sometimes it is fun to have a good fullback. Yeah, Juke said it's the best fullback there is in the game right now. Let's just grab him. Smart guy, too, went to Harvard, just like Ryan Fitzpatrick. So now we're in the 42nd round. We'll do this pick, and then what I'll probably do is I'll pick a kicker here, assuming there's still some decent ones available, and assuming I don't have one. I don't. Like, Harrison Butt Kicker is a good kicker, so let's just grab him. He's younger. He's got a really good leg. I normally don't need a lot of field goals in Madden because it's Madden. It's basically touchdown or bust. So what I'll do is I'll make this pick, then I'll make a punter pick, and then we'll skip a few rounds to like the second to last round. Like what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna grab a tight end because I don't know if Matt's ever gonna get me a backup tight end. We'll grab Jack Doyle. Doyle's not a superstar, but he did have a couple good years in Indy. He phases in and out like it's nothing. All right, so let's go ahead and draft our punter here. Let's see who's available. Best punter in the game, Johnny Hecker, is still there, so let's just grab Johnny Hecker. I don't need a strong punter, but I like having one, because then I can kind of look at it, and it makes your overall look better, too. Know what I'll do? You know what I'll do here? I'll just make 2 more picks, and then I'll just sim to the end of the draft, and then we'll look at the team. Or I might just make this my last pick, actually. Let me get a backup left tackle or right tackle. Oh, Jason Peters. I like David Questenberry's story much better than Jason Peters. Peters is old. Peters is going to retire after this year. I do like Questenberry's story a lot. Don't want a left end here. I do like Vinny Curry's story a lot, too. No, there's some good players here. Mike Remmers is solid. I'm going to go with Deemer Dotson, though. He's a little older than Remmers, but as a backup tackle, I can't really complain. I'm not expecting him to hang around for much longer than a single year anyway. So let's just go ahead and make this pick. Because I don't expect the Madden simulation to give me backups at positions that I like to have backups in. Because I don't like doing that. So let me see if both Questenberry and Peters are available. They both are. Alright. Let me go ahead and just grab another corner because they're not going to get me other corners I like. These are some interesting names here. Literally, all 5 of these top names are interesting. Rhodes, did he deserve to be in the Pro Bowl one year? No, he didn't. Richard Sherman, oh boy, don't talk to me about Crabtree. You got the Odell Beckham Jr. incident with Josh Norman. Janoris Jenkins, I mean, he really fell off a cliff once he signed with the Giants. He had that one good year. The Rams. He had that one good year, but then he just kind of disappeared. Patrick Peterson, obviously very strong, very fast guy. Could have been an Eagle were it not for the lockout. Probably would have been an Eagle, but it is what it is. So who do I go with in this group? Like I've had Rhodes before. I've had Jenkins before. I've had Norman before. I haven't had Sherman before. So I want to get Richard Sherman. I don't expect him to play much for us, but this late in the draft, it's fun to have a story like that. I can't even imagine a team with him and Antonio Brown playing together. Oh, wait. We actually have that. What are the odds? All right, this will be our last pick. If I really wanted to have some chaos, I would draft Josh Gordon here. Josh Gordon's actually kind of calling to me, too. That's a sad part. So they addressed my linebacker position how I want it. I have my whole defense is exactly at the numbers I really kind of like for the most part. So let me grab my backup left tackle, and I'll just sim the rest of the draft. Yeah, both Peters and Questenberry. I'll just grab Peters. In the event of an injury, I at least have Jason Peters on the team. All right, so we're going to sim to the end of the draft, and we're going to look over the team, and then we're going to call it a day. But stay tuned because later we will be releasing another video. See, this is the other thing I don't like about Madden. It does take its sweet time to sim rounds. I mean, it takes its time to sim games too. But I'm pretty excited. I'm gonna step in a couple games as well. Especially if our Eagles make the Super Bowl, I'll be playing the Super Bowl and we'll win the Super Bowl. But all right, I'm not doing scout stuff. That's boring stuff to you guys and me even. We'll do that stuff later. So it looks like the Steelers have Travis Kelce. Good for them. All right, so let's look at the depth chart. I hope this is the one I wanted it to be. No. All right, I gave us Blaine Gabbert as our third-string quarterback. All right. Eckler, Latavius Murray, Jeff Wilson Jr., Bryce Love. Bryce Love really fell off a cliff, too. I had high expectations for him, but he never really panned out. Kyle Juszczyk, solid fullback, dying position. All right, Antonio. I mean, this is a strong receiver room. I don't know if I'm going to hold on to Brandon Powell in particular. I mean, he's not that good. There's probably going to be a better receiver available. Tight end room. Jordan Thomas is our third string. Okay. I mean, can't complain all that much. I do like my tight end room. It's not the best. You know, we're not gonna look at the tackles, offensive line. We'll look at the defensive line. Aaron Donald. Again, I don't think Aaron Donald's going to start for us on the D line. I think he's going to end up taking over the defensive tackle spot of Tevin Bryan. I believe he will. So I think we're going to end up getting rid of Kevin Givens at some point, but we'll have to see. Juden they gave us Vince. Okay, he's a solid backup. Middle linebacker spot. They did give me the third middle linebacker that I like. Sky Moore, Michael Kaiser. These are solid players. They're not like elite players. Ben Gideon is another guy who I normally get. Specifically, I wanted to look at the corners. They didn't give me the sixth corner. I thought I had 6 corners. They did. Okay, that's even stranger. Nick Nilsson. Okay. It's kind of dumb when I draft a guy. They already given me Troy Hill. Oh, wait. I drafted Troy Hill. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. My free safeties. Roderick Teamer Jr. Okay. I do vaguely remember watching him play East Carolina. I like my... I won't be shocked if I end up trading away Adrian Phillips. And then, of course, kicker, Harrison Butker. And you can see right there, punter, Johnny Hecker. So what I'm going to do is, now that the draft's over, I'm gonna do research later on like the free agents and all that, but this is where we're gonna end the video here. I don't want to make this an hour and a half video of me looking at the free agents and all that, so we'll do that next video. I don't know when that video is gonna come out, probably in a week maybe, but we'll have to see. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was us drafting the franchise for the Philadelphia Eagles, and definitely stay tuned. Have a good rest of your day.